My bad, y'all. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. I told you, what do you see with this flag shit? With this upside down flag? What do you see them doing? Confused. Confused. Well, I thought I was a man, but then I thought I was a woman, but then I'm not really sure now, so I really classify myself as non-binary, but I'm really not sure what I'm going to be next year because things constantly change, you know? you know? No, I don't know, nigga. That sounds like confusion to me. Oh, well, the black woman is God. And she birthed out her counterpart, and then she laid with her counterpart that she birthed out and then produced a child. And that's how we got. Sounds like a bunch of damn confusion to me. That's where the world is at, confused. Yes, if you take this crystal here and you put it on this board of this cedar wood, and then you connect it and wrap it around here with this copper, and then you put this rod across it that's made out of ceruleum uh, dynamite and all this other shit you think you're doing, it sounds like a bunch of confusion to me. Hey, if you sit and you pray in this pose like this and you put your leg up over your head like that and then put your arm like this, then you're going to go into a state of being called nirvana. And then you're going to be able to connect to the divine source. And sounds like a bunch of stupid ass damn confusion to me. That's what the world is in right now. Stupidity, dumbness, sottishness, rebellion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Y'all ain't hearing this though. Y'all not hearing it. Y'all think y'all know what y'all know. But do y'all hear this? The arrows is shot. He's telling you what the arrows gonna do when they hit. He's telling you also that y'all don't listen when he's been warning you, which is what's happening today. Niggas don't listen. Now, do people listen to this shit I be saying? No, they don't. No, they don't. They stay far, far, far away from stuff like this. Why? Because it don't jive with what the deception is that they've been taught. God's gonna come and whisk us all into the sky, and then we're gonna. He said, "Woe is me." The prophet said, "Woe is me. Who shall deliver me in them days?" Well, let's see how it's gonna really work. A lot of dead people, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. Y'all hear that? And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. The earth where you live at. I don't give a damn where you live on it, because it say the whole damn place gonna be wasted. So where are you gonna go where you can escape it? That's why the prophet said, "Woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days?" The cities shall be cast down. See that city you live in right now today? It's gonna be total fuck up. There shall be no man left to till the earth. How many men gonna be left to till the earth? Was it like that in Noah's day? Did God say it's gonna be the same way in the Son of Man? So why you think it's gonna be different? Why do you think that? Because you've been lied to. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. How many places will be desolate of men? How many of them? You got to say it so that I know you heard it. So that you ain't got no excuse. Abba gonna be like, y'all wasn't warned. Like what the grandson told us. he warned us. All right then. So you knew that all places was gonna be like this, huh? Mm-hmm. All places shall be desolate of men. What happened to all the men? They died. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. Y'all ever watched I Am Legend? Y'all ever watch that? What was he doing in that store? Talking to that mannequin. Wasn't he crying? Begging that the mannequin would talk to him? So let's read that verse again. So that one man, which was Will Smith in I Am Legend, shall desire to see another. Why won't you just talk to me? Why won't you just why won't you just and to hear his voice? Why won't you just speak to me? Say something. Yeah, see? You see? Just like in that movie. That's what this verse actually said to you in great clarity. Why will it be like that? Let's continue. For out of a city there shall be 10 left. Now, the city I live in right now is millions of people live in it. So, what are you talking about here? Hundreds of thousands of people in your city. I'm being I'm being kind of facetious here. Lots of people in your city. Well, there ain't going to be 10 left. There ain't going to be but 10 left. Can you imagine that? No, you can't. Because you never heard it. Your pastor never told you this. That's why. He never read this book to you, matter of fact. And if you read it to him, he'll probably tell you that it's not the Bible. See what I mean about the deception on this earth? Of course, they don't want you to know this. They don't want you to know the reality of these days that you're living in, the end of the world, where the arrow is about to land. If you knew the clock, and I've already told you guys the clock, so you're once again without an excuse. I've told you guys about the clock, where we're at on it. Told you. There shall be 10 left of a city, two of a field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. And as in an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are left 3 or 4 olives. So after you do the harvest of the olive tree, you take all the olives off that you want, there's still 2 or 3 left up there dangling. That's how the earth is going to be in the end. Isn't it how it was in Noah's day? So then how is it going to be different today? Y'all want it to be different, but he said it won't be. So get that shit out your fucking head, crybabies. Babies, damn kids, rebellious little niggas. Y'all think that's strange I'm talking like that. No, that's how a father talks to his rebellious kids when they don't do what he say. So take it up with him. He says, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. They go through very meticulously, is what he says, but they still miss a cluster or two. That's the earth. Even so, see, even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Search their houses with the sword? That's that gun that he got in his hand when he kicked your door in and come in looking for supplies and shit. He's searching through the house looking for anything he can find and get. And there's niggas in that house hiding and shit in the walls, in the basement, up in the ceiling, wherever the hell they're hiding, they're hiding. So they got missed by the grape gatherers. Y'all hear that today? He says, and the earth shall be laid waste. So you built something in it. You bought some land on it and started building up a community. What's going to happen to that community that you built? You convinced a whole lot of people to move out to some land somewhere and put some tents out there and went away from the world and started building up and living indigenous off the land. What's going to happen to it? Yeah, we're going to get down deep into this. We're going to get down deep into it. See, all of y'all good works are as filthy rags. I'm here to tell you. Oh, boy. The earth shall be laid waste, the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. So all the streets that you used to see all those cars on are going to be overgrown with plants, just like you see in those movies. Why? Because there ain't nobody traveling through them no more, because ain't no more people left. It's only 3 or 4 people left. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. We don't need no man. We don't need no man. Well, then why are y'all mourning? Because you ain't got no man. Because you got what you asked for. Just like I told you, God's a good God. He's going to give you guys what you asked for. So I'm Miss Independent. I don't need no man. You're going to get exactly that. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All the women are going to be sad as hell that's left because there's no men left because they prayed to God for that while lying, saying that they never prayed to God for that. Yes, you did when you said you didn't need him. Eve told God, yeah, I don't need that man. So then God took the man away. See, I give you what you asked for. I'm wrong. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, you servants of the Lord. See what I'm trying to explain to you? He's like, hear this and understand what I'm saying to you, servants, elect. Y'all who say y'all love Christ, are y'all hearing this today? Or are y'all going to turn it off and say, that doesn't sound like my God. It doesn't sound like my Jesus. Hear now these things and understand them, you servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord and receive it. Why would God do that? Because he doesn't love you? Listen to me. Understand what I'm telling to you. Receive these words that I'm telling to you. That's what he's doing. He says, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake, those idols. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. See, they coming, y'all. So the Most High says, the plagues draw nigh. Those same ones he said he shot from his arrow. They drawing nigh. Well, what would happen if somebody shot an arrow at you? It's only a matter of time before it hits the target. And that time is very short before when he shot it and it hits you, isn't it? He says, and are not slack. They're not slowing down. They're not hindered or anything. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. You notice how this is exactly like the Master was saying when they said, tell us of the end of this age. He talked about tribulation, wars, rumors of war. Same thing. It's the same end of the age. What age? The age of Esau. They were in Roman captivity. They were paying tribute to Rome. When will this servitude end? Well, he's telling you how it's going to look when it ends, the end of the world. He says, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not. Contractions of a woman giving birth. They start and they don't end until the baby's pushed out. Same thing here. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. On every side of what? The world. The world shall mourn. Rebecca. She had 2 babies. So one of them birthed out first. That's Esau. That's this world you've been living in. You see? But some more contractions are going to hit her womb. Why? Because she has to push Jacob out next. And when it's time to push Jacob out, Esau gonna give her hell. He don't want that. He kicking that baby with his heel, trying to keep him up in that womb, trying to hit him in the head and everything. Jacob just grabbed his foot, said, you ain't about to kick me or stop me from coming out. If you can follow what I just said to you. Oh, my people, hear my word. See how he says, oh, my people, just like he said before. Hear my word, my servants. Now watch. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, what evils? The ones we just read. People dying, getting killed, wars, famines, pestilence, disease, death. People getting cast out as dung. You can't even bury the dead. There's so many of them. Only a few people left. And those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. Like I told you guys before, why you think Abba telling y'all to do that? Because the whole earth about to be wasted. So why build anything up in Esau's world if Esau's world is dying and being put to death, being destroyed? Live as a pilgrim lives, because you're just traveling through the end of this world to get to the beginning of yours. You are predestined for the beginning of Jacob's world. That's actually why you're here. If y'all could hear that today, y'all would really rejoice. You elect are here because you are the beginning of the world of Jacob. So you must endure the end of the world of Esau, which is very tumultuous and full of tribulation. But those who endure to the end shall be saved. See? Just like Christ said, it's no different. It's the exact same thing. See what I'm telling you? That's how you know it's true. What Esdras said here, which is when your pastor says, that's not in the Bible. That's Esdras isn't in there. Well, it's the same man as Ezra in your Bible. But yes, this is the same thing Christ said. So then how can you deny its truthfulness? Because look at what it's saying. Watch this. Be as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. So he that fleeth, let him be, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth as one that will lose. One that will lose. Not trying to save and hang on to and trying to make a profit and make a gain and all of this. Nope. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it. So let's just say you have 7 properties because you own real estate. Well, in these last few evil days, it's probably best to just let people just live in them. Like you ain't going to get no profit from them. But the world ain't willing to do that. They're still trying to make people get evicted. They're still taking people to court. They're still asking for rent. God says if you're his people, don't do like that. Let it go. It's very clear what he's saying here, isn't he? If you occupy merchandise, that means if you own something, a building, cars, whatever it is you got, act like you ain't gonna have no profit by having it. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. See what I'm trying to explain? Let you that builds like you ain't about to live in nothing. Now, that sounds like part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. You shall build, but shall not live therein. You shall plant, but not eat of the harvest. God did that, and he saved you through doing that. Because he loved you. You're like, at the end of this world, the Israelites are struggling. Man, they have nothing. They're poor. Abba says, I know your poverty. And I know those who are lying. But you're really rich because you're the beginning of the world of Jacob. You just look like that because you're in the end of the world of Esau. And the last shall be first. You're the last in this world. So you're going to be first. Hear what I'm saying to you? If you let this world go, which is what he's telling you here. You that build as though you should not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. As if you won't even reap anything. I won't get any profit from it. So what am I even concerned with it for? That's what he's saying. He said, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. I told you it sounds just like the curses of Deuteronomy 28. God's love, man. You read that and your heart is broken when you find out you're an Israelite. And you look at those words and says, damn, we shall plant the vineyard, not gather the grapes. We shall build the house, not live therein. Yeah, because this isn't your world. That's why you were slaves in it. That's why you picked cotton on the plantation in it. The end of it. You see what I'm saying? The tribulation, hard times. That's why. Listen, they that marry they shall get as though they shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. The thing I always tell you guys. All your labors are in vain if you ain't listening to this. I was telling you. He says, my people listen to me. So all of so-called people that say they're his people, and yet they're going out building, talking about building schools, talking about building up buildings and getting some land and doing all, is that what this says to do? But yet you applaud it. You silly rabbits. You go out there and, yeah, brother, you're doing great work, man. So man, thank God for this, man, crying and shit. God said, don't do that. Put on some sackcloth and sit your ass down and shut up. If you ain't calling people to repentance, then close your mouth. You're laboring in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, and overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, and their houses, and their possessions, and their own persons. You hear what I was saying? The more y'all do that, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, says Abba. Y'all think I'm playing around. You see why I'm a testimony against you that I'm listening to Christ? Told you I wear the same shirt every day. You see that? Why? Because it's a sackcloth. It's a humble garment, in other words. It's a very humble garment. Why? Because he told me to. And I'm warning all you that you should take off all of that expensive shit you got, and sell it and give it to the poor, and put on some sackcloth and humble yourself before the Lord because he told you to. Now, I would be a hypocrite if I wasn't doing it and I'm telling you to do it. You see what I'm telling you about? I'm a testimony. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm actually telling you what I'm telling myself to do. So then I'm loving you as I love myself, which is keeping Abba's commandment. Requiring out of you what I require out of myself. Because I have the same struggles you have. So you are without an excuse for why you're not doing it. You are without an excuse. You got a $50,000 watch on? Well, that's occupying merchandise, God says. And he says the more you decorate your own person, that means a hat, a shirt, pants, shoes, anything you can put on your body, a necklace, a watch, right? A belt. All of the things the Gentiles seek after, he said. Be not like unto them, he said. Well, that's also what this says here. The more they deck their cities, so they try to make the roads look nice and cut the grass all neat and put flowers up and hang banners and put the flag on the White House and do all of this shit. He says, the more you do that, the more angry I get. Why? Because I hate this world. You've been lied to that I love it. I don't love it. If I did, wouldn't I tell you to go in it and be more like it? It's because I hate it and y'all don't think I hate it. So you don't hate it. And that's the damn problem. Obviously, he says, my people hear this. The more they deck their houses, the more they deck their cities, their possessions. That means put big ass rims on their nice ass cars and put sound systems in that shit and all kind of nice fancy shit. He says, the more angry will I be with them for their sin. That's sin. Like as a whore envies a honest and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. See? So if you're righteous, you should hate iniquity. Why? Because your master said, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. So how could I love you? Then you're going to be sitting there saying, but you said love everybody. No, I didn't. Jacob I have loved. Esau I have hated. Did you read that? Well, yeah, I know it says that, but you don't mean that. Then what do it mean then? What do it mean then? So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face when she cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searches out every sin upon earth. Who is the she? Who is the she that's accusing the iniquitous decking herself woman? Who's accusing her? The church. The elect, the bride of Christ, is telling the world that they're a whore. You nasty ass dirty skank, walking around thinking that your shit don't stink, but it do. Walking around with your stretched forth necks, decking yourself all up, just like the prophet said you do. God says that he hates that. And the more you do it, the more he hates it. And y'all have only done it more. Y'all went from wearing weaves and fake lashes to now having fake titties and fake asses. And you telling me that the Most High is more pleased with y'all now? No, that's why he said what he said about the women going to be left desolate, crying, sad, mourning, desolate. And he warned you in the prophets. Well, that doesn't mean just a woman. It means the world. You hear me? The world. Christ isn't going to marry them, so they're going to be left desolate. He's only coming for his bride. And he rejected them. But he loves every woman. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He don't like hoes. You see? And therefore be ye not like their, look at this, look at this. And therefore, this is why, be you not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. You hear that shit clear or what? This is why I'm saying don't be like them. All they care about is outward adorning. Now all you have to do is look at the woman to see if that's true. Go on IG. Go on TikTok. These stupid ass, dumb ass bimbos going on there with their crotch, vagina, ass, everything showing with some little tight ass shorts on. You can see every print of her body. And she's saying, I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about self empowerment and thinking high positive vibes of yourself and being spiritually minded, and tits all showing and nipples showing all through her shirt and everything. Oh, I think you're really just here just want to show your outward appearance, doing the thing God hates. And you're doing it with iniquity because you're lying about why you're showing yourself. This is stupid. You think can't nobody see that? Well, there's a whole bunch of Sims running behind me saying that they think they love it. Okay, well, let them Sims love it. They're going to all be dead. I already told you they will. Because ain't no man going to marry no woman like that. Plain and damn simple. So guess what? You're going to be left desolate because you ain't going to have no men. The Bible already said it. The Bible already said it. Don't be like them, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. See, a little time, Esau will be quenched out, Jacob's world will come. That's what you're here for. All you doing is waiting. So if you waiting, you shouldn't be buying shit, you shouldn't be building shit, you shouldn't be storing up riches, you shouldn't be doing any of that shit. Just like the master told you not to do. Take thought not for tomorrow, take no thought for your life. And make it fucking clear. Don't even think about your own life. What the hell are you niggas doing? Watch this. And righteousness shall reign among you. Let not the sinner say that he hath not sinned. For God shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which says before the Lord God in his glory, I have not sinned. See, you got to confess what you're doing is wrong. Your errors, decking yourself, decking your possessions, storing up riches. That's sin, according to God, in these last days. You got to repent for that. Sell it. Give it away. Give that life up. Put on a cloth of sack, like he said. Y'all don't want to hear that, though. He says, Behold, the Lord knows all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Which spake but the Lord, Let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. So now he's going to give the Most High a bunch of praises through a bunch of verses here. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. Okay. Verse 67. Behold, El himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall El lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. See? For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, and be idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place, how many places? And in next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear Abba. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Abba. For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. You hear that today? No, that's when it will be known who are my chosen. When? Great insurrection. He gonna try you by fire. They're gonna come to you and threaten your life, whether you believe what you say you believe or not. Then it'd be known who the chosen are. It'd be obvious who they are. You hear that? Hear, O ye my beloved, says the Lord. Once again, he's imploring you to hear him. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Hear that? Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for El is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts. That's all you got to do is keep his commands, Israel, says Abba Yah. Let not your sin weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Stay on the narrow path. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through! Exclamation point. Hanging on to those goods, hanging on to those riches and those watches, hanging on to that gold and that glory and that fame and that spotlight, thinking that it's important, when you just read what you read, that this whole world would be wasted and there would be only a couple of people left on it. Because the death is going to go so high that you can't even bury the people anymore. They're just thrown out in the street like doo-doo. That's what the word said. This is the most terrible time of all. Wouldn't it be if this was a wicked world and it was to be ruled for a time, and now you're going to get rid of it? The wicked one is going to do everything that he can to keep it from coming. That's why that great insurrection we just read about, against those who believe on Habayah, who keep his commandments. That's what he don't want. And what is his commandment? This right here, what I'm doing. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. That's simple. And what is that? Rebuking your neighbor, correcting your neighbor, keeping your neighbor on the right path, because that's what you do with yourself. That's what you do. Everything that I say to you guys is what I say to myself. If it's not, then why do I look this way? Everybody else y'all watch look different every time you see them. They got on a different hat. They got on a different shirt. They got on a different outfit. They got on some different shoes. They even tell you about that shit. So how come I don't? Just showed you why. Because I love God. Keeping his commandments. That's all it is. Love God. Okay, well, he says, hear me. He pleaded with us to hear him. So if I love him, I'll hear him. Well, what are you saying, Father? Keep my commandments. They're not grievous. What are they? Love me with all your heart, your mind, your soul. Okay, well, you told me to put on sackcloth. I love you. Here it is. See what I'm telling to you? You told me take no thought of that anymore. So I stopped. I stopped focusing on that, thinking that I had to be perfect in order to present myself before men. I had to have this on and wear like this and talk like this and do like this and use these words and sound intellectual and sound smart. It's all vanity, grandson. My word is what is not vanity. Keeping my ways is the only thing that's not for you. It is your whole duty. So keep my commandments. So I do it. You said do like this. Humble yourself. Give your goods away. I gave it all away. Gave it away. Live on faith. Go where I tell you to go. Sleep where I tell you to sleep. Eat what I tell you to eat. That's what I do. And then I tell you guys to do the same thing because I love you. Because there are two commandments. And in order to enter in, I have to keep them both. Remember, Christ magnified the law. Do you know what it means to magnify? When you look at something through a magnifying glass, it brings it and makes it big and clear for you to see it. That's what Christ did for the law. We were looking at it, squinting. We couldn't see it good, so he magnified, put the magnifying glass on it. And when we looked at it, it said, fear God, love him with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. All that little tiny print where we couldn't make out, that's what it said when he put the magnifying glass on it. So he magnified. So now I magnify my office. Like Paul said, you see, I'm making it clear with those who are called to do what I do. I make it clear to you with a magnifying glass. You're used to seeing men with nice trimmed beards, speaking very eloquently, wearing a nice watch and ring on his hand, wearing a nice suit, nice haircut, a band behind him on a stage with a bunch of lights and a bunch of cameras and microphones. And no, I'm magnifying mine office. I'm making it clear to you what we were actually called to do as servants of the Most High. Why? Because I am a servant of. You hear me? I am a servant of God. Behold, the man, my servant, the man whose name is, behold him. That's me. So I magnify that to you. Make it clear, in other words, so that you can know, that you can see it with your eyes and say, okay, everything he's saying is what he's doing. He's not telling us to do something he don't do. He's not wearing nice ass clothes telling us to sell our goods. He didn't have anything. He didn't have nothing. The jacket that you see me wear when it's cooler outside, I put a jacket on. Another man bought that for me. The boots that I wear when I'm walking outside, a man bought those for me. So I'm not like, what I'm saying is I'm not purchasing anything. I'm not going out trying to make it. I told you the clothes and stuff that I wear outside is what was given to me or purchased for me by another. It's because I magnify my office. And you should do the same if you be true. Silouan Israel.